Okay. So this is FL Studio. This is what you should have been greeted with, something similar to this. Has everyone got something like that? If everyone's got something like that, does everyone have something like that?
Yeah. I've got like a bit of music there already.
Okay, well, so what you want to do is you see File up at the top?
Yeah.
Click File, and then just click New Basic with Limiter. And then it'll get rid of all of that music, and we can start making our own music. So, does everyone now see this?
I've got an extra few options down the side.
What, on File?
No, just on the main screen. I've got lots of options.
Thank you.
Oh no, it's just click File, then Basic with Limiter. I'll go over all those in a little bit.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everyone's got like the basic project opened and ready to go. Does everyone have that?
Give me a piece. Very good. Do you know what you're doing?
I'm actually confused. What is this?
What?
Sorry, so you need to go File, which is just right up in the top left, and then go New Basic with Limiter. Just click that, and you should end up with this.
I've done that, Thorfinn, but I've got a blank screen in the center then, so I've got like a symbol in the middle then, but not the timeline that you've got.
Is your thing?
What, you've just got the FL Studio logo then? Like,
Yeah.
Is it like the pepper thing almost?
Yeah.
If it's that, then that just means FL Studio hasn't opened yet. Just give it a bit of time. First boot up usually takes a while, so don't worry about it.
Where's your
Thorfinn, on mine I've got an extra window that says channel rack.
Okay, and I know.
Just
Microphones on.
what? Channel rack. Just click F9. Just on the keyboard, just press F9, and I think it should go away.
A new thing's popped up, but it hasn't gone away. No.
Never mind. So the channel rack. Just click F6 then. Sorry. The channel rack. You actually want that up. I've got it as well. But we can work on that in a little bit once everyone's got the basic thing open.
Okay.
Hi, Thorfinn. Sorry, I missed the start of that. Did you say you go to File and pick up the 808 with limiter? Is that right?
Yeah. New Basic 808 with limiter.
Okay, and then save changes. Yeah.
And then just click No for now, or just click Cancel. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it would just either No or I think probably
Okay.
No is the correct one. So just click No, and then you should end up with what's on what I'm screen sharing now. Just this window.
I've not got channel rack.
Oh, don't worry about that, Fergus. It's Patrick. Sorry. No, it's fine. Yeah, I'll show you to get that up in a little bit. So.
Yeah, we don't have the channel rack either.
Okay, no, that's fine. So I'm going to assume that everyone's on this window now, same one as me. So to get the channel rack to show up, all you're going to want to do is just click F6 on the keyboard. Just tap it once. Yeah. It should pop up.
Okay, press that.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Great. So now we're going to actually start making the music. So do you see all the little like notches on the channel rack, like the little buttons almost? Yeah. There's like loads of them. What you want to do is just click on them. So for instance, so you just click on, just when you see 808 kick, just click like the first one on that row. Click the first one on the row 808 kick, right? And then click space. You should just hear one kick playing every 4 bars. So it should just be going thump, thump. It should just be going like that, basically. So that, you've just created a kick. Congratulations. You are now playing a kick. So if you want to just hit space again, it should stop. And then, so if you want to add a snare next, go to the very bottom one where it says 808 snare, and then click on
Which is number 1?
the 9th one. Click on the 9th one on the row. And that'll start playing on the 3rd beat. You can see every time the little rows change color, that's a beat. So like the first 4 is 1 beat, the next 4 is another beat, next 4 another beat, and then the next 4 is another beat after that. So if you can get that concept in your head, if I was to say put a hi-hat on bar 2, you click the very first one, you click 5 you click the 5th one on the rack, sorry.
Okay, do you understand what you're saying? So I'll pay attention.
And something else that's really helpful is that the bars are actually color coordinated, so whether they're even or odd. All of the sort of bluey grayy ones are all even, so they're either going to, or odd, sorry, so they're either going to be bars 1 or 3, and all the red ones are either bars 2 or 4. They're the even ones. So that's quite helpful to know. So if you want to just put a hi-hat where it says 808 hi-hat on that row, maybe try putting a hi-hat on bar 2 and then bar 4. Just the very first note of bar 2 and bar 4. And once you've done that, just hit space again. I should have something similar to what you can hopefully hear playing on my screen just now. If you can't hear it, I'll do a quick beatbox demonstration. Should hear something quite similar to that.
Yeah, I've got that.
Great. You've just made your first drum pattern in FL Studio. So now if you want to right click and just drag and hold, and just if you want to just right click on each of those things you've placed, that'll get rid of them. And we can ask, and I'm going to ask you all a question now. What kind of music would you like to make? As I'm sure you'll know, there are plenty of music genres. We could make any one of them here today. So I'm going to ask you to just quickly put in the chat which one you want us to make. And if there's like a couple of answers, we'll just pick the most common one. Or we'll just pick the most said one. So just put in the chat what genre you would like to make. Or like what kind of music you'd like to make, sorry. Dad says techno, okay. Got 1 vote for techno. Mari doesn't mind.
Don't listen to my dad.
So Fergus, what would you like then? Sorry. I'm pretty sure that's not actually that's not actually C. That's Dave's. Dave wants rock. Harvey doesn't mind, and Patrick wants rock. Only trouble with that is I don't really know how to make rock, but we can try. We can try. So now the thing with FL Studio is it's so open to pretty much any genre you want. So now you can see with the drum pattern we've just made, it's not very rocky, is it? Like the drums don't really sound like they could be in rock. So what you want to do is on the left, you should have a menu that looking like this, where it says current project, recent files, plugin database, plugin presets, channel presets, mixer presets, scores, backup, clipboard files, demo projects, envelopes, IL shared data, impulses, MISC, my projects, packs, project bones, recorded, rendered, sliced audio, sound fonts, speech, and templates. What you want to click on is packs. And now I obviously have a lot more drum kits than you will, but not to worry, I'm only going to be using the kits that you should have. So you should be, yeah?
Thorfinn, I don't have any of those options.
It's just in the browser, is it not?
Yeah, I've got it open, but it only says current project, history, patterns, effects, generators, and remote control.
Can you not see anything below remote control?
No, there's nothing.
Okay, you might be on the bit that actually says current project, so just press 1, perhaps? Has that done anything?
Yeah, I found that.
Okay. Yeah, so just go in packs then. And do you see the one that's just called drums? Not drums and in brackets mode audio, just drums.
Yes.
Thank you for the answer. That was more of a rhetorical question, but so just click on drums, then click on kits, and then go HQ rock kit, and you should see a load of things come up, all called things like Crash HQ Rock #1 or Kick 1 HQ Rock #1. So now what you're going to want to do is scroll down to the kicks, because the kick is arguably the most important part of any piece of music. And just let's click on Kick 1 HQ Rock #1. You should hear it play. Now, what you're actually going to want to do is scroll through all of the kicks using the down arrow. Listen to them all. You can go back up through them using the up arrow as well. And just pick the one you like the most. I'm going to go for #4. Kick 1 HQ Rock #4. You can go right down to Kick 2 HQ Rock #8 if you want to. But if you start hearing if you start hearing a cymbal, you've gone too far. You need to go back up. So just pick one, and yeah. So just pick one of the kicks that you like. Has everyone got one that they like? So once you've got one that you like, what you're going to want to do is click again on the one you like, but click and hold this time, and then drag over to where it says 808 kick, and just drop it onto the words 808 kick. You'll see it gets replaced. It replaces the 808 kick with the kick that you wish. And then we can just make a simple pattern. Just click the first bar, click 1 in the first bar, and we'll just leave it at that for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back up from where it says kick up to HH closed. You can go through each of those, see which one you like. Once you picked one that you like, I'm going to go for #5. Do the same thing, except drag it onto 808 hi-hat.
Where did you go?
HH closed HQ Rock, and then you just click through those as well, just as you did with the kicks. You'll have to scroll up a little bit again to see them.
Okay.
So once you've got one that you like, just drag that onto 808 hat, I believe. It's either 808 hat or 808 hi-hat. Just drag it onto that. And now you've got the hi-hat. And now you can see there's also a clap. You don't actually need the... Oh, sorry.
Where do you find that one?
So you know where you found the kicks?
Yeah.
Just scroll up. Like, while hovering over the kick section, scroll up. And you should see HH closed, HQ Rock, just below the crashes.
I can't find it.
I can't find a teaser.
Okay. So you've all found the kicks though, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you just hover over the kicks, like don't actually click any of them, just hover over them with your mouse. Patrick, you're not muted. That sounds good, but you're not muted. We can hear it. So if everyone's hovering over the kicks, what you want to do is scroll up until you can see HH closed HQ rock. Just don't scroll up really quickly. Scroll up very slowly, and then you should be able to see it.
I've gone into the kits folder, but I don't have any further folders.
In kits, after drums.
Yeah.
So drums, kits. Do you not have anything?
No, I don't.
Dave, do you make Harvey presenter for a second? I kind of want to see.
Right, now I have.
Oh, you have them now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just once you've got that, just pick a hi-hat you want, put that in as well, and then we're going to do the same thing again, except going down to the snares, which were just below the kicks. You can pick either snare. You pick either snare hit, snare rim, or snare side. Personally, I think you should go for a snare hit though. Just keep things simple. I'm going to go for snare hit HQ rock number 8 and drag that onto 808 snare. I heard an
Yeah. Which one was that?
You can just scroll so you know where you found the kicks?
Yeah.
Just scroll down a little bit while you're on the kicks. So if you see where I am, here. So here are the kicks. You're just going to want to scroll down, and then you should be able to see snare hits, snare rims, and snare sides. They should just be here. Then you're going to want to pick one of those that you like and drag it onto 808 snare.
On kit.
Onto 808 snare, yeah. So you can see that we actually have 808 clap as well, which is a clap sound. We don't actually need that. So what we're going to do is right click on it and then click delete. So now you do not have a clap anymore. So now, if you remember what I said about the bars, what you're going to want to do is make a pattern using each of those bars. And you can also use the third beat in each bar. So for instance, if you can see where I have my mouse at the moment, you see I'm clicking on the third beat in bar 1, the third beat in bar 2, the third beat in bar 3, and the third beat in bar 4. And you should get something like, but that's obviously not an actual rock rhythm. So if you just right click, so what you're going to want to do is actually create your very own rock rhythm. Now, something I can very much recommend for the hi-hats is if you right click on the hi-hat you picked, click fill each 2 steps, you can get a hi-hat rhythm instantly without having to do any work. So what I have is a kick on the very first beat of the first bar, a kick on the 4th beat of the 2nd bar, and a kick of the 3rd beat on the 3rd bar, a hi-hat every 2nd beat, and a snare on beat 1 of bars 2 and 4. Now, you can come up with your own pattern, or you could copy the one I have. Either will work. So if you click space, you should be able to hear your pattern. If you're happy with it, great. You've just made your very own drum pattern. So now, on the channel rack, what you're going to want to do is click on the plus, which should be below all of your drums that you've selected. And then a menu like this should come up. Again, it will be smaller than mine because I have a couple of external plugins. So it will be smaller than mine, but don't worry about that. So what you're going to want to do is you should see one called Flex. It's under the Synth Classic heading. It's called Flex. It should be just above Fruity DX10 and just under 3X OSC. Now you're gonna.
What did you get that?
Yeah.
Some random things have come up on my screen. Just like on the grid bit, it says like pattern 1 and stuff.
Oh, that's probably because you've actually clicked on the actual pattern and dragged it onto the grid. That's okay. Just right click on the pattern one, and then it should go away.
Okay.
Then click F6 again, get the channel rack back up, and then click on the plus. There should be a plus.
It's also got a thing, and it's like pattern 1 name.
I think you've accidentally clicked rename. It's fine. Do you see a little X just next to pattern 1 name?
Yeah.
Just click that.
Okay.
And then click F6.
Okay, all now.
Okay, nice. F6. Then click on the plus. And then you should see one that just says Flex in all caps. Click that. And it should open a window like this. Should open this window. Now.
And nothing else has come up.
Pardon?
And now some like a different things come up, just like a.
Yeah, no, that's right. This should have come up.
You know, like just a grey screen with the logo.
What?
Like a grey screen just with the logo in the middle.
Just a grey screen that says Flex.
No, it's just got the pepper logo.
What? That shouldn't have happened. You were on the channel rack, right?
Yeah.
Then the plus.
Yeah.
And then just Flex. It should be. It's under the Synth Classic heading, just below 3 times oscillator, and just above Fruity DX10.
So once so I've clicked the plus, and then what should I click?
Flex. Just click. Do you see a thing that says Flex? It's just in all caps. Flex. FLE.
Yeah.
Just click on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it should open something like this. Well, I've got on my screen share.
Yeah, I've got that now. This
Okay,
guy's not got
great.
the grid anymore.
Don't worry about that. You can just press F5 and the grid will come back up.
Okay.
And then press F6 again and click Flex again. Sorry, you won't have my camera for a little bit, by the way, because I need to charge my phone. It's only on 4%. Yeah. So what you're going to want to do is do you see where it says lots of things like Archon Cityscape, Essential Bass Guitars, Mobile Tuned 808 Bass, Mobile Synth Plug, right? See where it says all of that?
Well, for mine it just says the Cityscape General MIDI Library, Mobile Synth Plug, Mobile Tuned 808 Bass, and Obeyed Compendium.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So now everything I have here is absolutely free. Do you see where it says packed, free, and store? If you just click on free, then you should see all of the other ones I have available for download. But if you don't have the internet to do that, that's fine. You can just work with what we have here. So now, what I'm going to do is I would go. So you've probably got Archon Cityscape selected by default, which is fine. Archon Cityscape's a good pack. But what you're going to want to do is to get a more sort of real sound, you're going to go to the general MIDI library for now. And rock songs usually have a bass, don't they? So you're going to want to click Acoustic Bass 1 and then click the little X right in the top right of Flex.
Where's acoustic base 1?
If you click on General MIDI Library, it should just be there. Acoustic Base 1, just to the left of it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so click on that. Then close Flex, just with a little thing in the top right.
Just a cross.
Yeah, just the cross. And you should be back on your channel rack, just with your Acoustic Base 1 there now as well. What you're going to now do is right-click on Acoustic Base 1, and then click Piano Roll. Should open up what I have here. Now, if you don't have these little ghost notes, don't worry about it. That's just something I have. So what you're going to do is click right next to where it says C5.
How did you get to there?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you right-click on Acoustic Base 1, and then click on Piano Roll.
Okay.
So now you should have this window open. You can scroll up and down while hovering over it to go up and down the little piano that's on the left.
Piano. I've got to the piano bit.
Okay, great. So now you should see C4, C5, and C6 right on the left. What you're going to do is scroll down a little bit until you can see C3, and then click right next to C3, like right next to it, not actually on the C3, but just to the right of it a little bit.
Where do you get C3?
If you just scroll down a little bit while hovering over the piano roll, you should see C3 on the left.
How?
While you're hovering over the grid on the piano roll, just scroll down a little bit, and you should see C3 on the left on the piano notes.
Okay.
So if you want to just click next to C3, you can place a bass note. You can also click next to any of the other notes to place a different note, which could be higher or lower, depending on where you click. And now you might see more grid spaces here than you did on the channel rack. Don't worry about that. It's exactly the same thing. It's every little square you can see is one beat. So what you're going to do is maybe just click on one note every beat. So I'm going to go C3, and when you actually click, you can see what note you've clicked it on. You can click and drag to move which note it's on, and you can right click to delete the note you've placed. So if you go C3, you can see that there. We'll just start at C. It's a good note to start with. And then you can maybe click G2 on the next bar. The very solid downward lines are bar lines, by the way. Patrick, you're not muted. Again, sounds absolutely brilliant. You're still not muted. So, I'm just going to make a quick pattern here. And then, so you should have something similar to that. You can just click space to play it all together. If you're happy with it, you can move on by clicking the little X, not right in the top right, because that will close FL Studio, but it's the one just below that. It's the one below that. It's the X that's below the X right at the very top. Or you can just click escape. It does the same thing. And now, if you have that, great. You've made a very simple kind of rock rhythm, I think. I'm not very good at rock, I will be honest. But you should have made something kind of rocky. Yes, Mari?
I'm not sure how you get the piano and the flag.
Oh, you're not sure how to get on the piano or off the piano?
On the
Okay, so
piano.
Mari, to get onto the piano, you right click on acoustic bass 1 and then just click piano roll.
And I can't open the flex.
You can't open flex. Click on the plus and then clicking flex. What actually happens?
Where's acoustic bass? Yeah.
Okay, so if you go on General MIDI Library, which is right on the very left, click on that, then you should see acoustic bass 1 just to the right of that.
This is like clicking on the left-hand side.
Not on the very left-hand side, on the left-hand side of the Flex window that's opened. You should see like Archon Cityscape, General MIDI Library, Mobile Synth Pluck, Mobile Tuned 808 Bass, and Ulbide Compendium. If you click General MIDI Library, then click Acoustic Bass 1, which should just be to the right of that. Then once you've done that, you can close Flex.
No, she can't see that.
Okay. So you can't see General MIDI Library?
No. I can see it's like a current project, recent file, plugin database, plugin preset, channel preset. That's all on the left-hand side.
Oh, no, once you've opened Flex, I mean, you should see, like, on the left-hand side of Flex, not on the left-hand side of FL Studio.
Okay, Flex.
Yeah, just in Flex, not actually on the left of FL Studio, in Flex, I mean. And then you should see General MIDI Library, and then you should see Acoustic Bass 1.
Okay, it's quite slow opening.
Oh, that's fine.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
great.
Okay. Right.
So I've got that open. You should be able to close Flex.
Great.
Just a little.
Thanks.
Sorry. Okay, no problem. So you should be able to close Flex. Right click on Acoustic Bass 1. Should see piano roll, and then yeah, you can click anywhere on the grid to make a note. I would try sticking to the like thicker lines because those are bar lines. And then once you've done that, you can just click space to hear what you've got so far. Then you're going to want to open another Flex window just by doing the same thing, going to plus and then going to Flex. Go back to the General MIDI Library. And then I don't listen to all that much rock, so I'm not really sure what you would hear. But if you want to just click 12-string guitar, they're usually guitars in rock, I know that much. So if you want to just click 12-string guitar, close flex, go back to piano roll, but this time on 12-string guitar. So right clicking on 12-string guitar, then piano roll. You should still be around the C3 range, which is fine, but you're going to want to scroll back up to about the C5 range to get the sort of higher pitch. And then you're going to want to do the exact same thing we did with the bass, but just this time, possibly experiment with making it quicker. So you don't just stick to the very thick lines, maybe you could go on the smaller lines as well. And to make a note longer or smaller, by the way, the little green things when you click are actually notes. So to make them longer or smaller, click on the right edge of them. Just click and hold, and then drag to the left to make them smaller, drag to the right to make them longer. So using that, just make yourself a little guitar rhythm. It would be good to try and make it follow the bass line if you can, like remembering the notes you put, but you don't have to do that, it'll be fine.
Sorry, Thorfinn, where did you get this 12-string guitar in Flex again?
Sorry, so it's just in the general MIDI library again, except this time it's right at the top of it.
Ah, okay, we were going. Ah, yes,
no,
perfect.
fine. It's right at the very top. So you're going to want to just do exactly what you did with the acoustic bass, right-clicking on it, and go to piano roll. And then you should see like the C3 range again. Scroll up this time, back up to C5. And then do the exact same thing you did again, just clicking in some notes.
Nice. How do you get the
I just
piano roll thing again?
I just right click this. Thorfinn,
Yes?
what? It's not when we right click. It's not letting us go
It's
into
just saying
piano.
favorite.
What?
It's when we right click on the 12-string guitar to add it to our channel.
Oh no,
or to
sorry.
get-
You just regularly click on 12-string guitar. Sorry.
Okay.
Then you need to close flex,
Yeah.
and then right click on it again. Like, but when you see 12, it'll probably just be 12-string ... guitar. But that's fine. Just right click on that, and then go to the piano roll again, and you should see the piano roll open again.
Okay.
And then you can scroll back up to about the C5 range. Maybe you can see C6, C5, and C4, or possibly you could do C7, C6, and C5. Either of them will work. I'm personally going to use C, C5, and C4. And then just click in another rhythm. But you can also use the knowledge that clicking on the very right of a note and dragging right will make the note longer. Click on the very right of a note and dragging it left will make it shorter.
Get off. This thing's all right. You need to know a lot about music to use this. Yeah, that's it, so.
That sounds really nice.
Get rid of these ones because there's nothing going on.
Now the
So just keep messing around with melodies until you've got one that you're happy with.
that's
True.
gonna be good.
Yeah.
So once you've got something you're happy with, you're going to close the piano roll. And then press F9. You should open up the mixer. This thing basically.
What do you press to get that?
F9. Just click F9.
Okay.
And then you should see this pop up. Now this may look confusing at first. That's because it is confusing. But in essence, what this is everything that you've selected here that has a number next to it, that number is one of these channels. And you can use those channels to add effects to the instrument or change the volume of it or anything like that. So right now you should see master is highlighted in a little bit of green. So what you're going to want to do is click on insert 1. And now you should see that will turn green as well as the little slider just below it. Now, if you play your piece, you may notice that the kick is extremely quiet. So that's why we're here. We're going to turn the volume up using this slider, which is highlighted in green. You can just drag that right up to the top. And your kick should be much more audible. But if it still isn't, then stop playing music. And where it says slot 1, just click on that. This menu will open up yet again. Except this time it won't be the same things. What you're going to want to do is click on Fruity Parametric EQ2.
Where's slot 1?
Sorry, it's on slot 1, which you should see on the right of the mixer. It's on slot 1. Then you could click Fruity Parametric EQ2. It should open up this window, which I have here.
Fruity what?
Fruity Parametric EQ2.
EQ2.
Yeah, don't really worry about the parametric. I'm still not sure what that means. But just the main things to note are Fruity EQ2. So if you can play your music, you can see that there's this little there are these little lines appearing. These little lines appearing. That's actually your kick. That's the waveform, basically what your kick sounds like to the computer. Now, where it says 1, click on 1 and drag it slightly upwards. Not right to the top, but just slightly upwards. You're boosting the bass end of the kick drum here by doing this. So play again. You should be able to extremely clearly hear your kick. If you're happy with that, just close the parametric EU2 and click F9 again to close the mixer. And once you've done that, congratulations. You have made your very first, albeit very short, piece of music. But most pieces of music aren't just the same thing over and over again. It starts like that and it ends like that, are they? So here is where you're going to, do you see at the top where just next to help, you should see Pat highlighted in orange, and then song very faded out and not highlighted at all. Click on song, and then you should see the song becomes highlighted and Pat doesn't. Now, if you play your song again, what's happened? You can't hear it. That's because it's now playing in the song mode, not the pattern mode. What your pattern is what you have just created. We're now going to change that into a full song by, do you see where it says pattern 1? Just next to all of the like generators and plugin presets, mixer presets, packs, that sort of thing. It should say pattern 1. Click and drag pattern 1 onto the grid, and then just drag it right to the very left. And then if you play it again, you should hear your song again. Now, this is the complex bit. Right click on where it says pattern 1, then click split by channel. Now you can see what was just once pattern 1 becomes all of these different patterns.
Wait, what did you do?
Right click on pattern 1 and then click split by channel. I really hope this works on the trial.
Split by channel.
Yeah, if you click on that, you should see it becomes 5 separate patterns instead of just the 1.
I've got 7 patterns.
Oh, that's fine. That probably just means you've done more drums. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So what you're going to do is delete what you just placed. Just right click on pattern 1 until there's nothing left, or where pattern 1 was until there's nothing left. And then what you did with pattern 1 was you clicked and dragged it onto the mixer. You're going to do that again, except this time with your kick, then with your hi-hat on a separate row, then with your snare on a separate row, then with your bass on a separate row, then with your guitar on a separate row. If you just play this, it will sound exactly the same. But here's where we're going to change things. So what you're going to do now is press E. This will change it to the select tool. Click and drag over all of the patterns on the big grid. And then press Control and B. You see this duplicate. Yeah? Sorry, so once you have all your patterns loaded up into the grid.
My track 5 section's really, really small for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine. So what you can do is, to make this bigger, just hover over the patterns and then press page up. Like not the actual patterns on the sides, the patterns that are on the grid. Just click page up a few times. You should make it bigger. And then you can use this little bar at the top, drag it right to the very left.
Okay.
So now what you're going to do is press E to bring up the select tool. Click and drag over all of the patterns that you've put onto the grid. And then press, at the same time, Control and B. this will duplicate your pattern over.
Nothing's
this.
happening when I click E.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just changing the actual tool. You won't see anything actually happen. It's just the actual tool.
No.
Pardon?
It's playing a note when I press the E.
Do you still have the piano roll open?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No. So what you want to do is, you see where it says 130.000?
Yeah.
That's the tempo.
But,
you see the buttons just to the right of it?
Yeah.
Click the bottom left button. That's typing keyboard to piano keyboard. And all that does is it makes it so you can actually type to play notes. It's absolutely useless. You don't need it, and it just stops you using some very helpful shortcuts. So if you just click on that, it should turn grey and white, and then you can click E and click and drag over all your patterns to select them, and then use Control and B to duplicate them over. Now you're gonna do that, and now you're gonna do this.
It's not. I just go over them, then it highlights them all, but then doesn't do anything.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So if you click Control and B at the same time, it'll duplicate them over. You're gonna do this 4 times, or 3 times. Sorry. You're gonna press Control and B 3 times. Now you might notice that you can't actually see the first slot anymore, which is fine. Just click on the bar at the very top, drag it right to the left. Now what you're gonna do here is delete all of your patterns except for your bass. And if you play, you should just hear your bass.
Selecting them all.
What, are you clicking and dragging over all of them?
When I do Control B, nothing's happening.
Oh no, you need them selected before you press Control and B.
Yeah,
need them selected.
They've got like a yellow ring around them.
A yellow ring? It should be a red ring, shouldn't it? Oh no, yeah, no, you need to release. You need to stop clicking. Sorry, you need to stop clicking to make sure they're selected. And then go Control and B, and it should duplicate over.
Okay.
And then do that 2 more times.
I still don't see anything different.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's weird. It should have duplicated. Can you still see all of your patterns on the grid area?
Yeah.
So you've definitely selected them all?
Yeah.
You've definitely pressed Control and B?
Mhm.
Well, I don't get it. Then that should have worked. Sorry, folks, having a bit of technical difficulty seemingly. I don't. No, that should have duplicated. Dave, could you make Patrick the presenter for a second so you can screen share? Oh wait, no, Patrick can't screen share. I know you're on the Chromebook, aren't you? Sorry.
No.
So that's really weird. You can still see all your patterns, right?
Yeah.
Just try again. Just go E, click and drag.
When I click Control B, it just changes to my paintbrush tool.
You must not be pressing Control down then. So CTRL.
Yeah.
B is the shortcut to change to paintbrush. If it's just changing to your brush tool, then that means you're not pressing Control down. Maybe you need to press it down harder. I'm not sure.
Did you say you were on a Mac or a PC?
A Mac.
Nice. So you might have to press the command button then.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Control doesn't exist on Mac. It will be command. I'm pretty sure. I don't use Mac. I use Windows. So just see if command works instead.
Yeah, but I'm using a Microsoft keyboard.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe try the Windows button and B, because while you're using a Microsoft keyboard, some of the commands that Microsoft uses on the keyboard just do not exist on a Mac.
So the one that has a Windows sign, and
Yes,
then
the Windows sign. Try pressing that and B at the same time, maybe.
oh yeah, that's duplicated it.
Okay, great. So anytime I say Control, Patrick, you're gonna need to use the Windows button instead.
Okay.
All right, so just do that 2 more times. You should have the same thing repeated 4 times. You should see should see it repeated 4 times. If you go to the first 2 bars where it says 1 and 2, you can delete everything by just holding right click and dragging over everything, except for the acoustic bass 1. Leave that there.
On the camera.
But then bars 3 and 4, just leave them. Bars 3 and 4, leave them alone. But bars 1 and 2, just get rid of everything other than the acoustic bass. Now, if you play,
What are we doing?
we're deleting everything other than the bass in bars 1 and 2. You just hold right click to delete, hold right click and drag over everything other than the acoustic bass.
In bars 1 and 2, on the grid bit.
In bars 1 and 2 on the grid bit, yes.
Yeah.
So you should just hear your bass on its own for a little bit. But then after a tiny bit, everything will play at the same time.
How do you delete it?
To delete, you hold right click and drag over what you want to delete. So delete everything except acoustic bass 1.
On the left-hand side, where it says all the stuff.
Yes, on the left-hand side of. So you should see like the same pattern 4 times. What you're going to do is just on the first 2 times it's repeated, delete everything except acoustic bass 1. If you accidentally delete acoustic bass 1, that's fine. Just click
Can you just
Control.
show me, because
instead.
I'm not very sure what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. So I am showing it. If you look at the screen share, you can see these ones here, right? These ones I have selected here.
Yeah.
This half. What you're gonna do is right click on the. No, sorry. Not you. You're gonna have to click P again before you right click actually. So you're gonna have to click P before you can delete, and then hold right click. Go over kick 1 HQ rock, HH closed HQ rock, snare hit HQ rock, then release, then right click again and go over your 12-string guitar, which it should just leave acoustic bass 1.
Apart from acoustic bass 1.
Yes. And then once you this is just in the first half, yes. Then once you've done that, play. And you just hear your bass on its own. And then you should hear everything join at the same time.
It's only going up to.
Harvey, you're not muted.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. So what's it only going up to, Patrick? Someone said that it's only going up to something. I don't know if it was Patrick or if it was someone else.
At the top, it's where it says 1, 2, 3, 4. At the top of the grid, it's only going to 2, and then going back to the beginning.
Then put page down a couple of times. Click page down a couple of times, and then you should see 3 and 4 again. So you're just going to want to delete 1 and 2, and then yeah, that'll be that.
No, it's still only going to 2.
You must only have duplicated once then. You need.
It's like at the top when it says.
Yeah, at the top it should have 1, 2, then 3 and 4, and you should still have things under 4 as well.
Like I can't see it on your screen, but like it only.
Yeah. So do you see where I have the little slider thing?
Yeah.
1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, and 4 is there. You should still have things right up to there.
Just below the slider.
Yeah, that's fine. That's where everything should be. Yes.
Yeah, no, below the slider it has all the numbers. It says 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh well, then that's fine then.
But it's only going up to the second square bit.
So it's only going up to here.
No, before that, half of that.
So it's going up to here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, seemingly you've not duplicated it. Yeah. So just put all the patterns back in, and just try duplicating it again. And then you should go up to 3 this time.
How do I put all the patterns back in? Oh yeah.
You just click on them and drag them onto the grid. Make sure they're right at the very left as well, by the way. Like, make sure you drag them right to the very left of the grid.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've got that, then just press E and select them all.
Get back in.
Then duplicate.
So that's mine.
Duplicate again. Then duplicate again. And then just delete kick 1 HQ rock on the first 2 bars. Delete HH closed. Delete snare hit. And delete 12 string guitar. Just leaving the bass for the first.
I have it all. I have it all back, and I have 4 of the ones that I wanted.
Yeah.
4 of the thing.
Yeah.
I have 4 of my original one.
Yeah, that's good.
And then when I delete the first 2, it's just it's just going up to 2, and it's not working.
Okay, well then just don't worry about that then. Just keep all the patterns as they are, just 1 bar, it'll be fine. Don't worry about the arranging. You don't actually have to have the arranging, it's something nice to know how to do. Just have the tension slowly build up. But unfortunately, I'd love to keep going, but time seems to exist. We've only got 5 minutes left in the session. So everyone, you've done an absolutely brilliant job. Some things I didn't really explain that brilliantly, and I'm really sorry for that. But despite that, you've all done absolutely brilliantly. This is an extremely complex program when you first pick it up. So to make something like this in an hour and 30 minutes is quite incredible, actually. So my phone has now charged up enough so you can see me again, and I'd like to give you all a big round of applause. You can all give yourselves a big round of applause as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Thorfinn. You've done a great job. It is a very complex program.
Yeah. So this is the only trouble with this is I've always wanted to do all the other shortcuts I know the entire time. It's been rather difficult to just do it at a very basic level. So I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
Is it worth going and having a look and watching YouTube videos on this sort of thing? Then is there?
Yes, I would say it is if you're really interested in this.
Yeah.
Then I would say yes, go ahead and do it. Go and watch some YouTube videos on FL Studio. It'll just help improve your basic understanding of the program, and it'll also you'll hopefully get to know your way around it a little bit more as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest problem is navigating your way around it.
Sorry, so if you want to do that, go right ahead. But I would honestly say that's probably it for this week. Hopefully see you again next week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you want to, just open up FL Studio again and just make some music.
How long does the trial work for?
Oh, the trial's completely unlimited. You can just keep going forever. So just don't worry about it expiring. You'll be absolutely fine. All right. Thank you very much for coming, everyone.